You know, 10 years ago, I used to come out here and start this segment by saying something like, President Obama proposed a new infrastructure bill. For more on this, it's time for a closer look. But now, the news is so relentless and insane that before I even get to the title card, I have to come out here and say something like, Donald Trump fired the commissioner of labor statistics because the jobs numbers were bad for him. The administration showed leniency to a convicted sex trafficker, Ghislaine Maxwell, by moving her to a minimum security prison. The president threatened war with Russia by announcing on his crappy social media site that he was moving nuclear submarines into the region. The Corporation for Public Broadcasting announced that it was shutting down after being defunded. The Senate confirmed former Fox News host Jeanine Pirro is the U.S. Attorney for Washington, D.C. The Justice Department opened an investigation into Jack Smith, his revenge for indicting Trump. The administration is rolling back greenhouse gas regulations. Trump is spending $200 million on a new ballroom for the White House. Trump commented on the Sydney Sweeney jeans controversy. Texas Republicans are trying to rig the 2026 midterms by redrawing the map to give the GOP 5 more seats. And there are radioactive wasps now. And that's just from the last few days. We're taping this at 4 p.m., so who knows what the hell will happen before this show airs. If you're watching this on TV at 12:30 in the morning, there might be a breaking news ticker under me that says there's no more internet, we're back to 13 states, and the wasps can vote now. Point is, I don't want to take a closer look, but guys, it's in my contract. For more on this, it's time for, guys, we have our fun around here. But if you thought I was joking about the radioactive wasps, I'm sorry to say, it's time to break out the heavy-duty citronella candles.
A radioactive wasp's nest has been disposed of after being found at a South Carolina location that once made nuclear bomb material.
The nest had a radiation level 10 times higher than allowed by regulations.
I guess this means my bug spray is going to continue to not work. I'm getting eaten alive this summer. I swear, while I'm putting on my bug spray, the mosquitoes just watch me with toothpicks in their mouth like they're thinking, if you think it's going to stop us, go for it. Back to the wasps. I have so many questions. First of all, what do you mean 10 times higher than what's allowed? I wasn't aware there was a certain level of radiation that's allowed for wasps. Is there like a sweet spot level, which is low enough not to kill us all, but high enough that if a kid on a field trip gets bitten, he might turn into a superhero? Are they hoping that happens to Trump? Is that what's going on with his weird puffy hand? They injected him with radioactive wasp venom in hopes that it would give him superpowers, but his hand meat is so thick that it's not really taking. But no one in his inner circle has the courage to tell him it didn't work, and he doesn't have wasp powers, but he thinks he has wasp powers, which is why he dances around like this. Like he's actually trying to flap his arms and fly away, and like everyone, everyone could tell he doesn't have the wasp powers. But when anybody asks his press secretary about it, she's all like, the president does have wasp powers. And I, for one, think it's disappointing that we're doubting that instead of celebrating a president who will be able to sting his adversaries. And guys, look, if you think I've spent too much time on this wasp story, it's because the rest of the news is also and I'm stalling. Because I don't want to get to the rest of the news, but since it's clear you all got someplace to be, enjoy the next one.
Double check your energy drink. It may actually contain vodka. High Noon is voluntarily recalling its beach variety 12 packs of vodka seltzer drinks because some may have cans mislabeled as its energy drink, Celsius Astro Vibe Sparkling Blue Raz.
And let me just say, if you can't trust Celsius Astro Vibe Sparkling Blue Raz, who can you trust? Because, I care about what I put in my body. So when I throw back a Celsius Astro Vibe Sparkling Blue Raz, I want to know it has the stuff I care about, like blue and Raz. Celsius Astro Vibe Sparkling Blue Raz might be what made the wasps radioactive. Leave one of those open at a picnic, all hell's gonna break loose. Hey, look, Tyler, that dumb wasp is sipping on your drink. And then like 30 minutes later, it's like, they're shooting lasers. But even knowing the vodka in the energy drink was a mistake, I think we should embrace this combo moving forward because the two things I need living in these trying times are energy and to be a little bit drunk. We're kidding, of course. It's very serious, although you wouldn't know that from our elected officials.
Sir, do you drink Celsius?
I do.
Are you familiar with the recall, though? Apparently,
no.
hard, like vodka sodas were accidentally put. The FDA has now recalled a number of Celsius.
More attractive to me, actually, if it was a vodka soda.
Would you like one?
I'll take it, sure. Thank you very much. All right. Is this one of the recalled ones?
Not sure.
Let us know. Well, maybe I'll have a taste test. Yeah.
Not a great sign when you hand a sitting senator a can and they say, "This got booze in it?" This is like a cop walking up to you and your friend smoking a blunt in the park and saying, "Hey, let me hit that." "Sorry, it's just my chief's been riding me." But it's no wonder senators are drinking on the job. They don't seem to do much aside from rubber stamping the president's unhinged nominees like Pirro, whose own executive producer at Fox News did not have the kindest things to say about her.
Pirro's name repeatedly came up in Dominion's lawsuit against her employer over false statements about the 2020 election. Documents revealed in that case show that her own executive producer said in 2020 that one of her proposed monologues was rife with conspiracy theories and BS, and is yet another example of why this woman should never be on live television. In another exchange, he called her a reckless maniac.
And on top of that, she drinks vodka with just a little bit of energy drink in it. What a world we're living in where people are considered too insane and incompetent for their TV jobs, so instead they go to work for the government. I mean, Jeanine Pirro, Mehmet Oz, Dr. Phil, maybe our next Secretary of the Interior will be a contestant from Naked and Afraid. And when senators aren't rubber stamping Trump's horrible picks, they're fielding questions about all the insane things he's doing, like firing the federal official in charge of jobs numbers because those numbers were bad for him.
Breaking today, Donald Trump has fired the commissioner of the Bureau of Labor Statistics hours after the agency reported that job growth has slowed to a near halt. Today's report shows only 73,000 jobs were created in July. The Bureau also revised down its May and June reports, erasing 258,000 jobs from the record.
If the president is firing the statistician because he doesn't like the numbers, but they are accurate, then that's a problem.
Now, if it was just fired because the president or whoever decided to fire the director just did it because they didn't like the numbers, they had to grow up.
And those are Republicans. They know this is really bad. They're not going to do anything about it, though. I mean, next time you see one of those clips, they'll just be sipping on a Celsius without a care in the world. Yeah, man, but like, what are numbers anyway, though, right, man? Yeah, I guess I got a little buzz. Speaking of buzz, do you hear the president has wasp powers? Yeah. Yeah, no, he can fly now. Everyone sees him flapping his wings. And it's not like there's any controversy over why Trump fired the BLS commissioner. He's basically admitting it.
Going forward, why should anyone trust the numbers?
Well, that's the big thing. You're right. No, you're right. Why should anybody trust numbers?
The key to Trump's worldview is the only person we should ever trust is him, although I'm not sure this is the guy I would trust when it comes to numbers.
We're going to get the drug prices down, not 30 or 40%, which would be great, not 50 or 60, no. We're going to get them down 1,000%, 600%, 500%, 1,500%. I want to get the drug prices down by 1,000%. 1,200%. We'll have drug prices coming down by 500, 600, 800, even 1,200%.
We've cut drug prices by 1,200, 1,300, 1,400, 1,500%. I don't mean 50%. I mean 1,400, 1,500%. It'll start over the next 2 to 3 months by 1,200, 1,300, and even 1,400%, and 500%.
Yeah, you can't cut the price of anything more than 100%. If you cut it by 100%, that means it's free. For example, if you went to the store and you saw a 12-pack of seltzer and it said now with 100% less alcohol, you'd say, wait, these used to have alcohol in them? But if they had 100% less, that would mean zero. Same for drug prices. If you cut it by any more than 100%, then I guess that means you're now giving people money to take the drugs? Is that how he's gonna fix the unemployment numbers? By hiring people to take drugs. So that will just be a job now. Yeah, I had a tough childhood. My dad was a professional Viagra taker. Yeah. It paid well, but it took a toll. I mean, almost all his erections lasted longer than 4 hours. The doctor stopped taking his calls. Yeah, we'd always know when Dad was home for work because his boner would hit the front door a few minutes before he did. Life was like my dad. It was hard all the time. Trump doesn't know how to solve a problem. He only knows how to cover it up, and that's the hallmark of a corrupt autocracy. When the numbers are bad, just fire the people in charge of the numbers. If you're caught up in a scandal, dangle a pardon to get out of it. The problem is it's backfiring. These stories won't go away. That's why Trump always looks like a guy who's been stung by 1,000
radioactive wasps.
This has been A Closer Look.
Thanks for watching.